Welcome to Presidential Experience Live. I'm your host, Kanae Corder, National Certified Counselor and the world's #1 clinical hypnotherapist specializing in financial therapy and stress management. And that is exactly how we're going to wrap up Mental Health Awareness Month. We're going to talk about stress, but not just any stress, business owner or entrepreneur stress, and even more specific, service-based. I'm just narrowing it down and narrowing it down and narrowing it down. So I might be weeding you out, and I don't mean to. It's just that I know there's a specific person out there that has a specific type of stress or mental health challenge that I want to address today. This is our last day of Mental Health Awareness Month, and that doesn't mean this is our last conversation. It just means that it'll just be mixed in with a whole bunch of other conversations and not all back to back, all mental health, all things mental health. And I really do want you to ask me anything about stress. So if you're thinking you have these conversations in your head, maybe you don't know who you want to talk to about them, then think about us having a conversation, especially if you are a service-based business owners. I'm talking to my hairstylists, barbers, massage therapists, especially if you're looking to build a multi-million-dollar company and you're really trying to figure out how you're going to do that. Well, there's a strategy that we use at Presidential Lifestyle and we share with others. I find that not everybody understands what we do here at Presidential Lifestyle and what exactly the presidential experience is. And I finally figured out why that is. And the reason is because presidential experience is sort of tailored to each member. And the reason why it's tailored to each member is because everybody has a different formula, what I call your U formula, your idea of prosperity. And it typically has a wealth component, a wellness component, and what we call a wow component. That's your love, your legacy, your adventure. And because maybe you might need more adventure than I need, if you don't have that adventure in your life, it will allow for stress to take over your brain. And if you do have that adventure in your life, then you can handle the stress that you experience. So my business owners, my entrepreneurs, especially my service-based business owners, I do not want you to work yourselves into the ground. I don't want you to believe anymore that hard work is the key to success, because it's just not. What if you could work well? Work well, reduce your stress, enjoy your success, turn your money into meaning, and love your life and your business. You can do that. And I know right now it feels like you can't, especially as we in this first phase of the coronavirus. And I say this first phase because it's likely that it'll come back when flu season hits. And if that is the case, then I really want you to be prepared, because you're in a position to be set up for success. Like right now, you could be set up for success. And that is by getting a few things in place right now so that you're prepared for the next phase, so that the next phase doesn't take you by surprise. It doesn't hit you maybe as hard as this phase did. And I don't know what happened for you, right? Like what you lost, what you gained, and what you want to maintain, the questions we asked a couple episodes ago. I don't know what those answers were for you, but I know that the type of people who come into Presidential Experience, who listen to this podcast, I know the type of person is somebody who doesn't want to be blindsided again, who wants to learn from their, I'll say mistakes, but I don't really think it was a mistake. We just didn't know what was coming. Now, I did, and I might have mentioned this before, but I had a friend who had been telling me for about a year that this was going to happen. He didn't know exactly what's going to happen, but he was like, get prepared, do this, do that. He gave me like step by step instructions about what to do. He didn't know that we'd run out of toilet paper, but he did say like get canned goods. And I'm like, I don't eat canned goods. He's like, just get something that you'll be willing to eat out of a can. So I was like, fine. Black beans and tuna. Those are the two things that I don't mind buying in a can. So I bought a bunch of that. And I bought things that just wouldn't perish as easy in water so that I have that. Um, and he was right, and it happened. And so I had a chance to be set up for success. I didn't share the information with my tribe because I wasn't sure if he was right. I was hoping he wasn't, actually, because it was sounding very doom and gloom. And this lockdown, this social distancing, and this um, shelter in place was doom and gloom for a lot of us, and especially us business owners. So let me go to this step by step process, and then I'm going to go fast though, because I'm doing a master class on Saturday. If you're listening to this, it's Friday, and I'm doing a master class on Saturday where I'm going to break it down even further. And then I am taking a group of people in the presidential experience masterclass level through a transformational journey to be prepared. It's going to be 16 weeks because by that time, the next phase will be started. And over those 16 weeks, you will have the support you need. You'll have the step-by-step process you need, and you will have the team around you. So here we go. So I hope you're taking notes, especially if you don't plan to join the presidential experience. However, if you plan to join, then you don't have to take such copious notes because I'll guide you the whole way. If you know right now you want to be on that masterclass, then go ahead and go to joinpresidentialexperience.com, joinpresidentialexperience.com. There'll also be a link in the show notes. And when you go to joinpresidentialexperience.com, you'll have access to a 10-day trial for the presidential experience Master Me level. And those that are in the Master Me level are going to get the masterclass for free that I am doing. And it's going to walk you through how to do what I'm about to tell you right now. So number one, you want to have a virtual layer to your business. I've mentioned this before. If you are a service-based business owner, you can only do so much work and you will cap off, and you can only raise your prices so much. Like our one-on-one conversations are at $1,000 a month. And at times, right, that's right now. At times we've been as high as $3,500 a month for our one-on-one. And we can go higher than that if we completely narrow and say we're only working with, multimillionaires or something like that. But I don't want to say that because I love working with people who are on their way to that multimillionaire status. So pick your person and say, okay, this is the person I want to talk to. I'm going to do a one-on-one, but I'm also going to do this subscription or let me say this. There's 4 types of virtual experiences that you can create. You can create a subscription, like a membership. You can create courses. You can create coaching, and you can create a hybrid between those, any kind of hybrid. And so once you have figured out which one is right for your business, which I can help you do that, then you're going to put that in place. Now, it doesn't take away from what you already have in place. So let's say, for example, you are a massage therapist and you may have a thriving business, or maybe you're, a barber, or maybe you're a therapist like me. You may already have clients coming in, and many of my therapist friends, we cap off at about 20 clients a week. And that's even stretching it because you still have to have room to do admin and notes and paperwork and stuff like that. So if you are taking 20 clients a week, and most therapists are spending about an hour. I spend 75 minutes, sometimes 90 minutes because of my process, and because I just pour into my clients. But if you're taking 20 clients a week, and even if your service is, let's just say $150 to make the numbers easy, that's $3,000 a month. I'm sorry, a week, $3,000 a week. And if you multiply that by 4, that's about $1,200 for the month. And if you multiply that by 12, that's about $144,000. Now, I don't know about you, but after taxes, you're probably gonna drop down to about 90, maybe 98. And I'm just estimating, I'm not calculating the taxes. And so that's less than $100,000, and you can live a great life off of that, but you may want to have more. And so I just wanted to give you those numbers. Now I want to give you some more numbers. Did you know that 1,000 clients paying you $1,000 a year is all you need to become a $1 million business? And then you can multi-million dollar that by adding other services. So $1 million company, 1,000 clients, $1,000 a year, and you're over, you pass the $1 million mark. So the 1,000 people, though, you can't see 1,000 people one on one. So how are you gonna reach them? How are you gonna serve them? You're going to create a membership, and the membership will allow you to meet with 1,000 people. And as you get those 1,000 people, you will also be building a team, because I find that you need at least 10 people on your team to handle those 1,000 people, and those 10 people will be doing different things. We'll talk about it in the Presidential Experience Bootcamp. But those 10 people will be doing different things, and they'll be handling those 1,000 people. Now, I also want to say that if you have 1,000 people in your group, not all 1,000 of them are going to be at 100%. You'll get about 25% of them will be at 100% and require your full attention. And then there'll be another like 50% that will be at about 50%. And then you'll have 25% that are barely doing anything. They're not even conscious that they joined the group. And yes, people spend their $1,000 or $97 a month, whatever your price is, $100 a month. They spend that money and still don't engage. But I don't want you to worry about that, because eventually they will. It's mostly about timing. The pain just hasn't hurt enough for them to execute more. So don't worry about them. Keep dripping on them. Keep encouraging them, and they'll come around. It's not you. It's timing. I just wanted to mention that. So the first thing is, you already got it. You are going to decide on, okay, I have my service, and then I'm going to add on a product to that. And it might be a subscription. It might be a course. It might be a hybrid between subscription course and coaching, which is what we do, because I know that the most effective way to reach somebody is to have a one-on-one conversation with them, then put them into a group and have them have support from the group, and then also have backup from the courses that I teach. So if they forget anything, they can always go back to the courses, or if they need a refresher. And the courses are on demand, so they can do them on their own time. They don't need me. And then I also have, for my premium clients, I do WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp channel that they can reach out to me on. And so with that WhatsApp channel, they can leave me voice messages, they can leave me text messages, and I'll respond when I'm not in session. And that is a premium service, but it helps to tighten, especially real time. Like if somebody is like, oh shoot, that thing that I always do, I feel like I'm about to do it. And then they just talk it through, right? And sometimes just talking it through out loud keeps them from being triggered or doing that thing that they usually do. You got to think about how you can serve your tribe, but more importantly, you got to ask them. So as you survey your clients, just say, I'm thinking about adding a subscription-based model, and I want to get your feedback on it. And they'll tell you, no, I wouldn't do something like that. Or yeah, I would. Or what if I added a course teaching you exactly how to do massages at home? Or what if I added a course teaching you how to do your own lining? How would you do something like that? And they may not, but at least and then you'll know what type of course or what type of membership that your clients are looking for. So you want to survey them. So now you have your core business. And this even works if you are an actor, because I have taught this to so many different service based and creatives, and I've seen it work. Last year, every single one of my clients who put this in place was able to survive through what we just experienced. And they were the least stressed of all my clients. The ones who didn't put it in place, and it was only 3 who didn't put it in place, and they were the most stressed out, the most stressed because they didn't know what they were going to do because they didn't have this in place. They also were the ones that were most stressed about their immune system because they hadn't been doing the things that they needed to do in order to boost their immune system. They had been losing sleep. They still had a fair diet, but maybe not the diet that they really needed to adopt. So they were just half-assing the whole thing. I'm not saying that ours is the end all to be all. Well, I am kind of saying that because I know my program and I know it works, and I know if they don't follow it, because I've put so much into it and all the studies I've done over the years and all of the freaking courses I've taken, and I see what's not working. And that's how I figured out what does work is, my background, my education mixed with my life experience, mixed with what I've seen other people do, coaches, therapists, and I sifted through all of that to create this product, and it's freaking amazing. And I've seen it do just such good work in the world, and I'm very, very proud of it. And more than being proud of it, I'm just so glad it exists. And I'm so honored that God chose me to put this through. I'm bringing this up because you might be stressed right now. Maybe you're wondering if you're going to be able to continue your business. Maybe you're wondering if you should just go get a job like everybody else. Maybe you're wondering if you're going to be able to feed your family or pay your employees. And yeah, it's heavy. And I don't want you to ever feel like that again. And maybe you saved up money, and so it's not hitting you just yet. And this was me in 2009. It didn't really hit me. Well, 2008 is when the market started to crash, and it really didn't hit me until the end of 2009. And that was because I did have about a year of savings. And so, but I didn't change my lifestyle, and I wish I did. And that's why I am sharing this with you, because you might be in a position right now where you aren't changing your lifestyle, even though the world has changed. And I don't want you to get stuck doing the same thing, expecting a different result. In fact, you're probably doing the same thing, expecting the same result, and you're not going to get it. And then you'll see that you're not getting it, but you won't change. You'll keep doing it, kind of like Kodak. And you'll think that it'll come around and it'll work. You'll just keep doing it and it won't work. And if you don't add a virtual layer to your business a year from now, 6 months from now, even, you will regret it. You will wish you did. And that's why I talked about this before in the pivot plan episode. What was that? Episode 100. Ooh, my exciting 100th episode. I talked about it a little bit in that pivot plan, and I'm just really adamant about it because this is what I know. I know that having a virtual layer to your business is going to add to your wealth. And I also know that we're going to talk about wellness as well. And because it doesn't matter how much wealth you have if you don't have health. Another thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to going back to your wealth. So I talked about, this is the third thing I want you to remember. So you have your core business, your core service, and then you're adding on a product or service. You're adding on a product to your service, a subscription, a course, even coaching, or hybrid between them. You also need to have affiliate. Let's say, for instance, like this massage therapist that added a product, she couldn't meet her clients to do massages. So she became an affiliate for a hand massager, and she taught people how to use this hand massager. And then there are so many of the people that I've worked with that had to come up with innovative ways when they had to close their doors. They had to start teaching differently online. They had to start to deliver their product in a different way. And they just really had to shift. And I'm wondering where you are with that shift. I'm wondering if you need help, If you need guidance, direction, maybe even some connection, so it doesn't have to be lonely at the top, because maybe that's what is really stressing you, that you're trying to do this all on your own and you really don't have to. Like, I'm here. I'm here. And so don't be stressed because you run a service-based business and you're trying to figure out how to take it to the next level. And this crisis has put a monkey wrench in your process and plans. Don't you worry. We together, we are going to get to our next level, because as I mentioned before, what I am sharing with you is exactly what we do in Presidential Lifestyle. And Presidential Lifestyle is a wellness company. We focus on wealth in all of its forms, but bottom line, we're a wellness company. But I know that if you want to get to your idea of prosperity, it's going to take you getting some of your time back. It's going to take you having a business that you trust. Because, I mean, let's face it, did you start to distrust your business and question what you are doing? So you've got to build a business that you can trust. And having a virtual layer to your business gives you some more freedom, some more flexibility, and some more money. So does that sound like what you're looking for? Because if this is a high priority for you right now, then you should join my masterclass. Now, the masterclass is for members only. So you do need to become a member of the Master Me level of the Presidential Experience. And the Master Me level, only $97 for the whole entire year. $97. That is less than $100, right? Less than $10 a month, $97 for the whole year to connect with me and my team, and also the tribe, so that you don't have to be alone and you can get your questions answered live. How does that sound? Post your success stories. We talk about topics that are current right now, whether it's about digital currency or the latest in business news or wellness. It's always timely and it comes straight to you. It can come to your phone or your desktop or your email. It's up to you. Anyways, I'm just saying, you at least have to be part of that club to get this free masterclass, because I have a 10-day trial. So for 10 days, you don't even have to pay the $97. You can just get in, take the masterclass, and see if it's for you. If it's not, cancel. But I am so confident that you'll like it, that you'll feel like it's for you, that you won't cancel. And on June 1st, Monday, June 1st, I just love that June 1st is on a Monday, and we are opening our doors to the master class level so that you can upgrade and do that 16-week boot camp with us so that you'll be prepared for next time. This is going to be so good. Like, I cannot wait to see you. I already got, yesterday I got 2 new members that are going on to do the masterclass with us, and they're dedicated to starting a virtual part to their business because they don't have that right now. And I'm really excited about this. But more importantly, they're dedicated to living their idea of prosperity. And living your idea of prosperity is what's going to help you manage the stress, because it's not about stress going away. Sometimes life is stressful. It just is. And that's okay, as long as you have things that help you manage it. And that is why you need to be in Presidential Experience. So I'll see you in the club. If you have questions for me, go ahead and email me at podcast@presidentiallifestyle.com, and I'll answer it live here. Oh, I want to tell you this last thing about the podcast. Some changes are happening. We're about to go into our EO series. We started it, and then when the COVID crisis hit, we decided to pause it because it just wasn't the right timing. You got to be ready to pivot in business. And so we decided to pause it because we wanted it to get the most attention, or I should say we wanted it to come when you were ready to hear it. And even though we recorded a lot of the episodes during the crisis, and so we'll be talking about that, I wanted you to be through the crisis before I aired it so you can give your full attention to it. So that's going to start likely in July. For the month of June, we'll be taking a little bit of a hiatus. I will go back to posting once a week, but I want you to let me know what you want to hear, because even though we have the EO series coming, we can add a few more episodes if we know exactly what you want to hear. And that's what I really need from you. Now, I'm willing to give you what you want, but I got to know what that is. Okay? Send me an email at podcast@presidentiallifestyle.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I'd love to know what's on your mind. I will see you sooner. And remember, when you believe it, you will soon see it. Go ahead and subscribe to this podcast. Share it with someone you love, especially a service-based business owner, and leave a review. We'd love to hear from you. Alrighty, I'll talk to you sooner.